Somali-born man arrested on suspicion of attempted murder and dangerous driving. He rammed his car into a load of people. And as we know, this is a common tactic of Islamist terrorists. And the police have initially, counter-terrorism police was involved, but they became uninvolved very quickly, saying that this had no links to terrorism. Now, I doubt that. And I do not believe a word from the counter-terrorism police. I don't believe a word from any establishment or group working for the state. It reminded me of Axel Rudikabana, that piece of trash, who carried out the Southport killings. He had an Al-Qaeda manual in his room and a biological weapon in his room. But even to this day, that has not been declared a terrorist attack. So forgive me for not believing a single word that comes out of the mouth of any establishment, state authority, saying that this was not a terrorist attack. Why should we believe you? If you didn't call that a terrorist attack, why should we believe you that this isn't?
Yeah, exactly. Like we're told so many times that things aren't terror attacks because they don't want to anger the nation. They don't want people to revolt when our people are constantly being harmed or killed, by these savages that don't belong here. But attempted murder of 5 people. So it wasn't an accident, was it? It was intentionally done. If it's attempted murder, it wasn't an importing savages that want us dead.
It's interesting that how we always get labelled with, you want to stir up racial tension. No, racial tension exists because of these people, the state, the people accusing us of stirring up racial tension. It's not us doing it. It exists already, regardless of what we say and do about it, because they imported all of these third world immigrants who are incompatible with British or European nations, for that matter, European culture, English culture, British culture. They're not welcome anywhere in the whole continent because they're not compatible. And tension exists is because they brought these people here.
We're actually starting a very exciting campaign in the next week. A very exciting campaign. I did speak about this briefly online, but it is to tackle the HMO crisis in this country. Migrants are being housed in HMOs in our towns and streets. They're being housed right next to families that have young children, and that is unacceptable. So we are launching that campaign in the coming week, and we cannot wait to get to it because we don't want our communities plagued by undesirables. We want our children safe, our communities safe, and our nation. I think because, like you said, white British people are still 70% of the population. There must be a concerted effort by these councils to give priority to non-white people in these housing offices. Because white people are still going for social housing. They're still attempting to get it. They still want that option because it's cheaper than private renting. But they've been being denied because there seems to be the effort to house anyone that's non-white, anyone that's non-white British, before housing our own people, which is outrageous.
And we've seen councils, it's been exposed of all these diversity inclusion things, how they prioritise anyone who is non-white. Because of some oppression bullshit, this oppression bullshit Olympics thing that they've got going. So white people are at the bottom every single time because they've got to prove to their higher up pledged the biggest council householding program since the post-war period. Now, this is quite interesting because me and Ashley did some digging into the statistics regarding to council housing and ethnicity in England and Wales. So 16 to 17% of white British people are in social housing. I was saying to Ashley before, because white British people are still around the 70% mark in England and Wales. So the fact that only 16 to 17% of them are in social housing was quite strange.
I'm going to build the most migrant housing since World War II instead, because that's what it's going to do. The hotels are no longer a problem. No, they're no longer a problem because you've housed all of the migrants. You've not sent them back.
To have the largest social housing program since World War II, when the English birth rate is lower than ever. We all know where these houses are going. Again, we can see it in the statistics. Here we go. Black groups, often Caribbean, African. 44% of Black Britons are in social housing. That is 3 times the white rate. Black Caribbean, 48% of them are in social housing. Mixed white and black Caribbean, 41% in social housing, and black African, 42% in social housing. Bangladeshi, 34 to 40%, and Pakistani, 13%. And there we go. We know where these houses are going to.
Yeah. That's just outrageous, isn't it? Though? You know, because it used to be like when I was younger, I remember people would leave school, they'd get a council flat, you know, and that would be their start. They'd leave home at 16 and get a council flat, and then they'd go on, you know, to do other things, maybe buy a house later on. But now people aren't moving out of the homes with the parents until the 30s because they can't afford to do it. Do you know that shouldn't be the case? Do you know? And social housing was created for low-income families in this country to access. Do you know? Because they couldn't afford a mortgage and so forth. Whereas now it's being given to every Tom, Dick, and Harry from Africa rather than our own people, which it was always intended for. It's outrageous, but it's just another example on how our government and our country is working.
It's not
against our
us
own
causing
people.
the tension. They should look in the mirror. They caused the tension. We are addressing the concerns. We are trying to stop this tension. We are trying to provide solutions. The most peaceful solution being remigration, as you mentioned on the last live stream we did, Ashley. It's the most peaceful solution, because what's going to happen when we get to a point, if we allow it to get to a point where remigration becomes impossible, because it's still possible if we put our minds to it, if people in this country want it badly enough. But one day it won't be possible. And what's going to happen after that?
If we were the bad guys, if patriots or nationalists in this country were the bad guys and were the monsters that we're being made out to be, we wouldn't push for the peaceful option of remigration. Do you know, we'd be pushing for the other option, and you all know what that is. But we're not. We're still all pushing for the peaceful option, because unlike these savages that come here and want us dead, we don't want them dead. We just want them to leave. Yeah. We just want them to leave. We just want our homelands back. That's all we want. You know, we want them to leave peacefully and leave us. We want them to leave peacefully and leave us to lead peaceful lives.
The government are the terrorists. They are actively promoting the replacement and death of the British people while tying our hands behind our back. I think that's absolutely perfect. It sums it up. The state is 100% against its own people. 100% against its own people.
And like you said, tying our hands behind his back. That's what they do. This is why, like, for example, the young lad that was chased off by that mobbing crew had a face covering off on. Do you know, because if you speak your mind in this country and you're a little too to the right, you could be arrested, you could be thrown in prison. Do you know, you will get cancelled, you will get your job taken off you and so forth. So can you blame people for covering the faces? This guy just made a perfect point. We do have our hands tied behind our back.